Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome. And it's Nuke. And I'm very much looking forward to this one so far. It has been a very, very intriguing battle between Encore and Not Greyhound so far. Vertigo is taken very, very strongly by Encore, 16-7. And then we do see Inferno come out for Not Greyhound 16-8. So now we're on Nuke Komodo, and I think this is really where we're going to see the crux of the series, the good stuff.
Well, I'm hoping for the good stuff from both of these squads right now, Mitch. What Encore deployed over on Vertigo, what was showcased to us on Inferno by Not Greyhound, I think that's what we really need to be able to witness as we are in-game. Of course, the pistol round is live, so we are ready to get in towards the show. Liaz has brought out the dualies as well as Sicko. It's going to be Encore starting on the T side here as well. And shots already coming out from Ins in this vent drop right now from Encore.
Great call, already knows. Good lurk, though, from Azza. I like this. Liaz has already tried to take some control of lobby, but the damage that has been peppered onto the Encore side certainly does make it awkward. Savage with the bomb in hand. Great shot. Vexite will be able to stop Hazza from moving his way in towards the site, so I very much think that Azza's positioning is going to be the big one here. Walking down on towards the ramp flank, but if these members die too quickly, there might not be anyone to actually try and defend onto. Sicko has got it all done. They did actually manage to clear Azza on the flank too, and 5 alive on Not Greyhound's pistol.
Sometimes their dualies are just such a, damaging weapon. So many bullets that you can just willy-nilly spray. It almost feels like you don't need to worry about where you're aiming, but regardless, as you mentioned, the pistol round, it's going to go over towards Not Greyhound here, and 5 alive means that, look, some players can get free head armor here. Some have to go on for the full investment if they want that as well, because with the plant, or you're expecting, rather, the force-up to come through from Encore in this next round to do to Not Greyhound what happened to them on both second rounds of Inferno, right? The pistol went towards Encore both times, and then they dropped to the force-up of Not Greyhound. So here, they need to try and do exactly that.
So some basic outside utility getting thrown by Hazza. The L-smokes to give them a little bit more space towards that warehouse. Alistair playing up nice and close. Vexite also just around the corner. He's very, very bold there. A risky play, but it does reward to a degree. We'll be able to at least find one traded out by Gratisfaction. And Ins, I love this tucked in position in towards the ramp. It is going to be Savage again, who does walk into Trophy. The rest of the members, though, looking to make their way down. So it is going to be Encore with a slight advantage here.
Slight advantage, bit of utility for Encore as well to be able to utilize. And same for Not Greyhound at the moment. So it really is going to be coming down to who can get the next pick. It's going to be Sicko picking out. Finds 2. Lea's found Grat as well. And now Savage with a deagle, a flashbang. No armor to his name either, but some positioning that, could be okay. Can't help but feel like now that Ins finds the pick on top of the boxes, that position is now going to be an expected one from Encore later on. It's always one of those, situations where that position, sometimes you come to overlook it and you can get taken out from it. So for Encore, maybe it's good that they're being taken out. So that's been revealed nice and early. But Mitch, the problem being is here, that was their force, right? And they lost it pretty convincingly.
Well, it's one death. That's it. Vexite's gone down once, and it was in a very, very bold play to peek out the side of the L-smoke there where Gratisfaction found the kill. So 2 rounds, 1 kill. Not exactly ideal here. Sterling also going to get dinked up by Ins as well. Spotting out Gratisfaction makes a little bit of an awkward fight. Hazza getting a bit hot under the collar there inside the door as well. So Ins is just holding on to this warehouse position for now. A great flash over the top from Alistair will allow him to quickly drop down Gratisfaction. So time will tell how the round will look. Azza sitting on the other side of red. Should be a nice shot there from Ins as well. Easy done. Liaz also to collect another. So it's just, business as usual this round. Sicko looking to clear and join outside as well. Top of silo will be Sterling. So he's got to be careful he doesn't fall off the box as well. Hoping just for a lucky shot with that dig, which he is ever so sharp with. So this is kind of like an absolutely ideal start for Not Greyhound, right? If they only have 1 frag lost in 3 rounds, that's a huge statement for their economy.
Yeah, shutting down the force up through Encore pretty convincingly as well. When your weaponry isn't the greatest yet established either is pretty good. You come into the next round where Encore finally do have a purchase and you're feeling, the momentum of your first 3 rounds. You're also then feeling like you've got more to play for. Yes, Vexite still does have an MP9 into the next round. He could potentially use that, throw caution to the wind, or he could go for an upgrade, right? This is the time where you might look to consider an AWP nice and early for Not Greyhound to really fine-tune some control around the map. It's going to be probably Alistair's choice, you know, if he's feeling like he wants it at the moment or not. You know, they could opt for a play around the MP9 for Vexite, or he could just chill back. There's so much that these guys, you know, can just decide what to do, because right now, Not Greyhound are in the driver's seat. They're riding that momentum from the previous map. As you mentioned, pretty much as best starters you would want coming onto the CT side of Nuke right now. It's on to Encore to get into this map.
No need to reinvest. They're just chilling, happy to play around with what they've got. Again, only having like one MP9 is not exactly a problem. Alistair also finding Azza, making light work of him outside. Is spotted though. Great trade by Gratisfaction. And now slots his way into secret. Going to be chilling there for now. Ramp control has been secured as well. So they have at least managed to find that one. Hazza creeping through the other side of the smoke. Elbow's going to be smoked off. Mollied rather. So they're creeping on in. How will Not Greyhound react to this?
Good shot from Gratisfaction, though, catching Vexite lurking around outers, trying to see if he can bring something back in for Not Greyhound. And now a lot of pressure on ins, lurking around the B side of the map. He's going to be the instigator here to get back into this round for Not Greyhound to continue on with this stellar lead so far. As the glass is shattered, he's going to open those doors and actually find one before being traded out by a very reactive Sterling. Still, Encore, get this plant down, hold the player advantage, and now to try and protect this B site.
Encore still looking way more cool, calm, and collected in a round like this. It's a great HE from Liaz. And now Savage has to try and take the fight. It's awkward, and he's going to go down. So it goes back into this 2-on-2. Still some utility left. Sicko just trying to bait and switch. No, Sterling! Oh, not like this. It's so awkward because he can stick that. He can absolutely stick that. The second that door opens, they're going to know exactly where Gratisfaction is.
What a retake.
Oh, we've all been there from Sterling. A little bit rough, but I think that was a 2v4.
Yep, 2v4 coming on through. When the shots needed to happen, they do happen. And for Gratisfaction, you know, a little bit unfortunate that he couldn't have any eyes on towards the defusee on that plant spot, right? It's more protective to get the plant down when you don't know anyone from Not Greyhound is going to be coming in through the ramp, because you've gone through that situation, but you did it 20 seconds ago. You don't know if it's dirty or clean, so you assume it's dirty there. Play for your team, and then, yeah, Not Greyhound, a great retake to come out, still holding flawlessly in toward this map. They have a couple more players die in that round, Mitch, but you know, 4-0, great start. Now they've got the AWP out on Alistair, where he can start to shine in towards this map even more so. We do have the purchase to come through from Encore. A little bit of utility in these AK-47s, and you know, no real establishment of any control around the map at the moment. Trying for outers, though.
I'm really liking this from Inns. You know, he is playing very up close towards the outside position. You know, it's allowing him to kind of play around that info, see what utility does get sent. You know, outside control is such a big element of a map like Nuke. And that position, you know, allowing Alistair to kind of have a bit more freedom up towards heaven, playing down towards supporting the ramp. But it is all working out. You know, Encore looked much more concise in that previous round. But it seems that Not Greyhound, you know, are just a little bit cleaner as it stands so far. Now they're going to try and get their way. Ooh, geez, I wasn't too sure. They're going to look into the warehouse for Gratisfaction, and Azza will settle, but Inns has already done the damage.
I love that we get shown Hazza throwing all three smokes for you at home. If you don't know your outer smokes for Nuke, there you go. Hazza has showcased it. But Inns is showing how to hold down outers on the CT side. Shooting the shots onto Gratisfaction and to Azza. Bit of a statement there. Great shot from Savage, though. Wow. In towards the ace side. A player deficit still for Encore. 20 seconds, and it's a no-scope from Alistair. It turns into a bit of a shotgun at that close proximity. The incendiary is essentially going to lock Encore out of this round, however, and Savage, he's so disconnected from Sterling. Now the door's open, and the round is closed.
Only a man like Alistair will play in the vents. Very simple-esque, if you ask me. Sicko and Liaz yet to go down. 6-0, 6-1-0. It's crazy to see. And there's the first call for the pause. So I do have to admit, so to give everyone who is only just joining us the context that we received earlier. So it's been about 3 weeks, roughly, that Azza has been playing with the Encore side, mainly sort of queuing up on 300 ping in matchmaking for to join in Savage, Hazza, Sterling, just to kind of get a little bit of a further understanding about what everything's been looking at for them. But only arrived in Australia just under a week ago. It was Sunday last week that he did kind of formally join the roster. You know, obviously then you've got to account for jet lag coming from Europe. So it's been a really, really big move, and playing the T side of Nuke as an in-game leader with players that you've not played with before in any capacity is a very, very big thing. So we are likely going to see a bit more comfort from Encore on the CT side, but if not Greyhound really do start to get moving forward, it can be a very, very daunting CT side to switch over to.
Yeah, and we'll have to wait for it as well. You know, Encore's struggles over on Inferno were showcased on that T side, so it kind of carries over. Well, rather both sides anyway, but we won't write about that one. Into the start of Nuke. It's just all gone to knock Greyhounds. And with the pistols here, the damage out from the utility, In's even blinded and smoked off. He's going to be able to find a couple of shots revealed by the HE grenade, getting the impact on towards the Encore members. Gratisfaction has 11 HP, but he can't even find the frag as Sicko plummets down the vent and is able to find that one. A great round again going over towards Knock Greyhound. 6-0. We've got more guns to come through for Encore Conky. This is the time to get a round on the board for Encore, because if they don't, well, this half is just really going to keep on propelling away from them.
Very, very scary position to be in. Hazard yet to get a run on the board. Rough as guts, but you know, it is, again, a really, really hard T side to lean into with a brand new roster. Encore having a very, very tough task, you know, fighting up against Not Greyhound in their opener. And yeah, Not Greyhound, after having a bit of a shaky one in Vertigo, you could clearly see that they weren't all on the same page. They've had a mental reset between games, fixed the technical issues, and now they are firing on all cylinders. Everyone is playing incredibly confident. Look at this position from Inns up at the warehouse. He should have Sterling here. Absolutely, he does. Now he can slot his way in. Nope, doesn't want to go too far. Great, great positioning to get the hell out of there now. Not leaning in to try and pick up the AK. And he gets back into the warehouse. He might even be able to pick up another here.
Yeah, and Alistair will be able to put his head on a swivel as well and maybe find something if he expects that no one is going to be playing out from outside the squeaky door right now. It's Inns and it's all him. Look at the extra damage he's done on towards Hazard and Gratisfaction. Liaz is the one under the ladder base to be able to find the finalization onto Hazard this round again. Broken record, Mitch. It's just all Not Greyhound doing what they need to do. Extremely well measured in this series right now on this map. Try and close it down. Gratisfaction, Savage revealing themselves, and Savage has taken out Gratisfaction. How has that happened?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, look, you won't hold it against him. Clearly just really not working out at this point in time. You can see that the cogs are ticking in the Encore mind, and, you know, again, very, very tough opening circumstances. But even in this situation, it is still extremely rough. No matter how good, you know, Not Greyhound are, especially on Nuke, to not find anything in the opening 7 rounds is still a tough pill to swallow.
Well, a couple of gun rounds going, you know, not their way, and now they're running into the grinder, or maybe not, just the one to come out from Liaz. But you over check Inns, you don't check him rather, and he's going to be able to find you, and maybe even from the grave. Nope, that's on towards Savage. If that was Hazard, it would have taken him out. That would have been very, very funny from Ardidom, but regardless, there's some damage to come through from Encore here. 2 kills, 2 players alive. See if they can get maybe one more.
Sort of feel like the tides have really turned from that 2-on-4. You know, Encore had some great opening entries, got themselves into a solid position, but whilst they've slowed down the clock now and will only be needing to fight against the one member of Sicko, still is a tough round to convert. Savage does have a smoke as they do creep their way in, but Sicko tucked in again to the radio room. They do cross. Savage punished though. Hazard has to do it all. 1v3. He's going to be looking for something. It's the smoke. I don't know if he's been able to pick that one up, though. So 40 seconds, he'll get the plant. It's fine. Vexite's going to creep his way down. And it should just be the pincer attack from Vexite and Alistair.
Well, any utility would be helpful for him. He's seen the smoke in the front of that dark box. I don't know if he's actually picked it up, though, because he is going up a ramp a little bit. Isolated duel is what he would love to be finding right now, but Vexite, he's creeping on through. There's the headshot to come out onto Ali, but no! Nearly onto Vexite. Takes him down to 39. The defuse will come through. 8 rounds unanswered. Not Greyhound. Mitch, they're just running away with this map at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very clean and mean there from Vexite. You can see that they've got so much money. They've actually called to keep the AK as opposed to picking up the AWP there. Big brain. But yeah, look, you know, Hazard certainly gave it his all in that moment. There was an opportunity there, finally back on the board in this round. It was an opening pick with the pistol. But unfortunately, just not quite able to convert that one again. It was a very, very awkward fight to be found. And, you know, just a tiny bit off on that third frag in towards Trophy. It would have been a 1v3 clutch for the 4K. But Not Greyhound continue their charge, 8-0. And yeah, I don't know. This whole series has just not been exactly what you're expecting. But now is the time for something to happen. As I say that, as it gets 2 on the opening, but INS is good for the double up. And now it's a 3 versus 2 with Hazard and Sterling, the dynamic duo, to pick up the pieces.
See what they can do to get back into this. The difference is they've got a bit of utility to work with in this round, and of course the weaponry, the armor behind themselves. The plant does go down. Hazard, he's stuck on the site by himself. The flames to try and keep them at bay at the moment, immediately smoked on through. Just trying to navigate into a sense of safety right now around this A site, but the patience to come through for Not Greyhounds. They're waiting on INS's wrap.
Time certainly is ticking. Sterling now to reposition. Moving over the top. Alistair a little bit blinded, meaning that Sterling will get that frag, but it's traded well by Liaz. Hazard has to find a 1v2, and it's not going to happen. Plenty of time. INS to get that defuse, and I got to admit, man, INS and Liaz have been just playing out of their skin these last 2 maps.
Absolutely, man.
And Liaz was nuts on the start of Vertigo as well.
Yeah, and INS is carrying on as well. 15 kills, 3 deaths. I mean, everything that you want to see from a CT-sided you know, play on the map of Nuke. This is exactly it. The coordination and cohesion that Not Greyhound are just throwing on through is absolutely paramount to how they've been closing out of these rounds. You know, it hasn't really felt like there's been any deficit to come through from them. And in the 3 versus 2s, it is still, you know, when there's a chance for Encore to be able to kind of bring it back and make it maybe winnable, Not Greyhound are just really cleanly being able to close it down. And off the get-go in this new round, Savage already taken down to 14 HP. A bit of a different look for Not Greyhound as they get on top of the garage warehouse. And Hazard, maybe he's the smoker again.
It's a massive confidence booster for Not Greyhound so far. You know, going into obviously a busy week again, ESL Challenger, Melbourne around the corner. So that is going to be a big one for them. And then if they manage to get into that spot RMR, obviously IEM will be at PAX. The Asia qualifier will be there. 2 teams of the 4 will go to the major at Rio.
Look at this from INS. Already just pushing in towards near their spawn, catching Hazard with his knife out.
16-3.
The first opening pick, yeah. I made mention to his 15 kills earlier. I extend that a little bit more. Sterling getting a little bit of a love tap from INS, who's still praying on through to be able to find another kill. He's just being an absolute force in this one. There's 4 for him. Give him the ace at this point. Gratisfaction running around the lobby. He should be heard. Walking into the crosshair of INS. The pre-fire, the tap, the flash didn't work out. INS, keep going for it, good sir. Get that clip. Pad those stats.
The temptation must be there.
Make Twitch chat think that you've still got these walls on.
Oh, he's just playing so well. You know, his level of understanding of the game right now is crazy. Gratisfaction's going to have a look for him. But I think it should be the ace stolen. Now he'll take it. That's A-okay.
Yep, absolutely.
He keeps on. Money's still good. 10 rounds. Round secured. 19-3 for the in-game leader of INS.
Man, he's just...
He has been really, really leaning back into this.
Yeah.
Like,
If you've got him performing like this and the rest of the team still doing what they need to, disregard just him. If you've got anyone on this roster playing like this and you still got the rest of the team looking after their angles, doing what they need to, it just, you know, is going to be a really hard team to tackle against in the Oceanic closed qualifier right now. But then you also got to think about, can Not Greyhounds do this against, you know, the winners of the other qualifiers as well?
Correct. And obviously with this win, that only puts them in the upper bracket. That doesn't, you know, send them home or anything by any means.
Well, that'll be up against Nuke or DGG, which looks like DGG now that they've gotten the win.
Well, Vexite's just straight into lobby, so you can tell exactly what movement he's got going now.
Yeah.
And he wants to refight. He wants to repeak. INS adds to the stats as well.
Oh, wow.
But that's what you want to see from the young fella. And unfortunately, everyone's dead. INS will not even go down. He still wants to fight the good fight. Top of heart.
I was
Crab
about
might get a couple more.
I was about to say no one's above 4 deaths on Not Greyhound. Vexite is the one with the most deaths. 5.
Oh man.
This is carnage, Mitch.
This is I cannot say, like, I've been casting Australian Counter-Strike for like 6 years now. I don't think I would have ever expected a start like this. And even with that being said, like, unless it goes to a 15-0 half, right? Encore still have a chance to close the pistol and get a bit of something back.
Yeah. They literally, Encore, need to copy the CT side that Not Greyhound have done right now. Like, it has to be that clean.
Well, everyone's playing really well. Like, you know, the synergy's there. Shots are getting hit. Like, and Inz has just got so much space. He's not being punished at all.
Yeah, Skirmish is going to have fun with a frag movie for Inz after this. Alex there, though, is the one to try and lock down the outers and hold the AWP into the next rounds. Meanwhile, the rest of his squad just having a bit of firing range as well, as it is just the pistols for Encore in this round. Bomb has dropped in outers, which is overlookable as well, but it's the garage that the battle is raining on through. The engine was revving, but now it's shut down and bolted.
Another round going the way of Not Greyhound, 12-0. Realistically, Encore, again at this point in time, just to confirm, ironing out the kinks. This is always going to be the practice you expect, you know. They do have a break after this event now. You know, say for example, if we do see Encore qualify for the RMR event at PAX in October, they've still got a solid month of practice with this team. And, you know, Az is still, you know, washing off the cobwebs, really. Like, you know, he's been out of a competitive team for quite some time now. I think it was almost a year that he's had a break for, right? When was Extreme
When Extreme
up?
said no more, yeah.
When they didn't qualify for the major last year, so it's almost a year.
Yep.
And that's when Bentet went back to Tyloo, Liaz came back to Renegades. Yeah. Many things happening now.
Well, yep.
Okay, he gets the dink onto Gratisfaction as well. There's Alistair picking up one more for his troubles. 4-on-3.
Oh, do they expect Azza to already be pushed up, though? They do. Liaz has found that one. Sterling in for the trade. This is looking maybe a little bit more competitive, but as soon as you say that, Inz is back up onto that boost to close it down. Savage overlooks it this time. 13 on the board for Not Greyhound. I'm gonna not touch wood here. All right? Are we gonna get a 16-0?
Don't do that now.
No, because I don't want it. I don't want it. That's why I'm not touching wood.
I kind of do. That'd be kind of hard, you know? Like,
oh, yeah, it would
top 2 teams in the region, one 16-0s the other. It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
In map 3 after getting rinsed on map 1. Like, like, I don't feel like Greyhound, you know, Not Greyhound, like, you know, put up a huge amount of fight on that opening map. They got owned. Yeah. And it was Encore playing really, really good Counter-Strike. So to see a 16-0 finisher would just be unheard of. Yeah. Well, it's not a gun round to come through from Encore here. They'll see what they can do with the scout. Maybe for Gratisfaction. If we can finish off Inz and actually get an opening kill for Encore, it would be a bit of a change of pace because most of the opening kills, if not maybe even all of them, from memory, have gone over towards Not Greyhound. And this one continues to be the fact. Liaz finding the first frag. Grat being taken down to below half. Azza just above half HP. A minute to go. You know, we don't need to see any individual heroics. We don't need to see anything fancy from Not Greyhound. It's all been working a treat. Couple of gymnastics around the map for sure. That's a good shot for Gratisfaction, but immediately How is Inz there?
And
no way. He gets more. Jeez. He's gone down. He had 10 HP and he's still taken that fight. Like, that shows exactly where they are. They're all laughing. They're all having a great time. Alistair's disconnected in the middle of the open, it would seem. So finally an opportunity, but as I say that, Sterling gets picked. Savage, last man standing, 1 versus 2. Can pick up an M4 here as well. He's going to get the AK instead. Sicko will hear him, and he'll clear him. 14-0. Is the unthinkable going to happen?
Well, we'll wait and see, because as you do mention, you thought Alistair DC'd. He's purchased weaponry here, so maybe it was just a little bit of a hiccup. In
his mind, yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah. 14-0. What can you really run in with this one? Another gun round, at least, for the last round of this half for Encore to try and change it up. We've seen, you know, out as slow plays, out as rushes, drops, ramp rushes. I don't think we've actually seen a top site execute. Have we seen a top site execute?
I don't really think we've
think
seen
so.
much. It's just could have been. It's been very, very standard. And again, I understand it, right? Like, I could not imagine just getting dropped back in straight off the plane, basically, to be like, hey,
Dude.
so your first game is leading a brand new team, basically, against not Greyhound. Like,
Do you think there could be a world in which, like, and I'm just theory crafting here. You realize that it's going to be very difficult to come back into this, but you know you can make a very good lower bracket run to then go back up against them in the upper bracket. That you don't want to reveal a lot here. Try and swindle them next time. Hey, an opening kill for Encore.
There you go. Hey, 2! Let's go, Savage. Make it happen. 14-1 half, surely. Yeah, look, plenty to think. Like, all you can really use this series right now is as practice. That's all it's going to be. Irrespective, the rest of the year will hold opportunity. There will be more competition that they can play in. That'll likely lead into further competition into 2023. And obviously, you know, Land's back. Live Counter-Strike is back. Alistair is dead.
Where was this?
Savage is low. Liaz's still alive, though. Komodo, you got to remember, bombs dropped. Liaz, though.
Oh, did they hear it?
1v4. I think they did. Sterling's
Yeah.
on that line. Liaz can just hold. 50 seconds. Bomb still dropped. I think he's going to actually creep into this one. So it's done. The dream is dead. 14-1 Encore.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. There we go.
It's something.
It is something. It's not the donut. So we'll take that, Mitch. We'll take that.
We'll take it. All right, so the half time will shift over very, very quickly because remember, ladies and gentlemen, to all of you watching, there is actually another series to go down after this one where we will get a actually, yeah, maybe the hour-long break that we were expecting because this game's ended up finishing so quickly.
Yeah.
And what did we see? DGG did manage to get the victory over Rooster. Interesting scoreline, 16-7 on Inferno going the way of DGG. 16-6 going the way of Rooster on Dust 2. And Vertigo, 16-12. So very good series overall, I guess. You know, each team getting decimated on their own map picks. And shout out to Joshin, obviously, for running that broadcast too.
Do you know who he's casting with for this one? Is it?
No, I actually haven't seen. No, I didn't check. I would assume it would be Wix. That's the usual.
Anyway,
That's
we'll
okay.
find out later. It's a pistol round,
Great
and it's
opening.
an opening again for Order.
Already out on site too. Heaven, there is one, but are they going to creep out together? It looks like it will be a three-man peek through the top. As any utility. 4 actually straight out of Heaven. My God. It's an all-out brawl. As against 2. Sicko, can he find any more? There's a second, then the third. No Sterling. Savage gets it. There's a 2 versus 2. I don't think there's a kit available. All they need to do is just not peek here. Ins. Gonna wait on the other side of the door. Does get the snatch. And it's all onto Savage.
Yeah, they're not going to pick him.
Nah, they just chill. Wait for the defuse. He's already off. Clears it, checks it, and that's the round done.
Yep, pretty much. 15 over towards Not Greyhounds, and now is the time where, you know, we were looking towards Inferno. We were saying that an 11-4 scoreline is going to be very difficult to try and mount a comeback. You've only got a couple of rounds that you can make mistakes in, uses some cushioning. Here, you've got none, really. At 14-1, you got one mistake chance, and it's gone.
Obviously, full force in. Couple of Deagles, a CZ, 2 MP9s, and all-out Galils. 5 Galils for the side of Not Greyhound. Yeah, it's insane, man. I still can't wrap my head around this scoreline. Like, it's not something I've ever expected. Like, T-side start of Nuke is hard, though.
I think the biggest thing we'll take away from this right now is that Not Greyhound are looking good.
Yes, correct. And that's all that's needed to be taken. You know, arguably there should be an easier matchup a little bit later on.
Just a second.
For Rooster versus Encore. That'll be an interesting matchup. But there we go. Another round going the way of Encore. They were pretty clean with that one. Hazard, great shot. And now the reset. So,
yeah.
Again, it's a similar story. Like, I guess what we saw on Inferno, right? You know, a very, very strong start from Not Greyhound. Encore took a little bit of time to shake, but that's exactly it. Like, you know, you've lost this game, you've lost this series, unless we see the unthinkable, right? But this is practice. It's a live official against the, you know, consistent best team in the region. Perfect practice round for Encore.
Well, some more rounds on the board for Encore always goes a good way. And they will be picking this one up with only 22 points of damage delivered over towards Azza in the round. So another one picked up for Encore. As you do mention, you know, the reset to come hard over towards Not Greyhound there means that this one's going to be another taking the knee round before they get the guns in the one after this. And yeah, I think I just want to see a couple of nice CT rounds to come through from Encore. You probably are not expecting them to be able to, you know, mount 12 rounds in a row. It'll be absolutely awesome and such a spectacle of a series if, you know, that was a thing that we get into OT. People would look at the scoreline afterwards and be like, oh yeah, it was a close match, blah, blah, blah. But then you look at the halftime and you're kind of questioning how has that happened. But yeah, regardless, we've got guns in the next round for Not Greyhound. And at least one in this round for Sicko. Make it a second.
Oh, jeez. Almost a third there, but they were going to clean up crew anyway. So they get the job done. 4 rounds here for Encore. A full buy now to come out for Not Greyhounds. They've certainly been slowed down a little bit, but the frags have started to even out as well. You know, In's obviously still well and truly ahead of the curve, but, you know, 17-9 from Sicko, 17-8 from Liaz. Still an overall good balanced performance. And yeah, Encore just sort of, again, easing their way in.
Yep. Well, we'll see what this gun round does have for us for Not Greyhound. The utility is here, and the positioning creep out in outers at the moment. We have Azza playing the annex with most of Encore's forces over towards the ramp side of things right now. Do have Gratisfaction actually down in towards the secret line as well. So we'll see if he can unleash his ins on this CT side. As we saw, you know, ins on the CT side popping up everywhere, it felt like, Mitch.
Yeah. Had great control, playing his IGL position out towards outside, around warehouse, into annex. Just a great CT side. Only getting scrapped away one time. A few big individual picks. So now L-smokes go down. Allow them a little bit of control towards the annex position. Gratisfaction is going to be tagged down slightly in secret. As the Molotov will try to keep them at bay. Are they going to look to flash their way through? No.
He's peeked into it.
In secret, he's leaned straight into it here.
Oh, but now Az is caught out on an island at the moment, and Vexite's going to punish him. Savage on the side itself. You need to see a bit of rotations come through from Encore. Bolster up this defense on the sites. 30 seconds to go. You know exactly where Not Greyhound is going to start to lean towards. And if Vexite's able to find some positioning in heaven, he might have heard the drop from the player on towards the site. This could look a little bit difficult for Encore to, you know, keep contained in toward this matchup. Gratisfaction really smoking himself out to try and get up towards the site, but that's what I mean. Vexite, he's gotten away with murder through the heavens. Savage has taken down now. Gratisfaction, Conky, I believe that this game is going to be done and dusted. Has a good for one. The shot's starting to come through from the remainder of Not Greyhound. Good shot out from Hazard, but there we go. Alistair to get Hazard, and that is all she wrote. We'll be coming over towards us now, because that is the GG to come through. Such a destructive map of Nuke to come through for Not Greyhound. Books them the upper bracket continual run.
Yeah, so it is going to be that next series in Not Greyhound versus DGG, which is going to be, I don't know, I'm sort of thinking that it should be a 2-0 in favor of Not Greyhound, but look, there's always a chance where a developing roster like DGG, you know, they've got a few up-and-comers.